People see through some of these things, and they know that you probably, or one wants to be competent, show some competency in whatever one is doing. So that also encourages the clients to want you to handle their projects. No, not at all, because I'll tell you the reason why. I think it was my upbringing. I grew up amongst men when I was growing up. And that's why, when you see me throwing banters with men, and some people, particularly in those days, some men in the Nigerian Society of Engineers didn't understand me. I grew up with men. I had all brothers. I was the only female for a very long time. My mother had 6 of us. I was number 2 because I've lost about 3 of them. The only number 6 was the only other female. So I was playing football in the 50s, late 50s and early 60s with my father and my brothers. Even though I was only a goalkeeper, but and I was climbing trees. And I was having a lot of problem in school because my teachers in school will ask me to call my parents, and my mother will go and they say, look at this lady, she's not ladylike, she's this, she's that, she's climbing, and my mother will apologize. She's the only woman, a lady, young girl amongst my kids, so she's with the men. All the boys, she's with the father and the boys, they go and play together. So really, I had already imbibed I had learned how to move with the men and feel like I'm one of them. So I never get, even for about 6 years, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I was the only female attending the conferences. It didn't bother me. I would go there, I would feel at home, we'll throw banters at each other, I'll throw mine, they'll throw theirs, and I'll move on. The only thing is that I think, I just knew you don't cross this boundary, okay? I was very well brought up by my mother, so there are certain things I won't do, okay? Even though I can hug and do everything, you respect yourself, But I just didn't feel anyhow about it. That being with men doesn't bother me. They are as good as women, or wood, so whatever, So really, it didn't matter to me. It's not. I would rather throw it back that the clients do not want to spend extra money for that. And it's penny wise, pound foolish. Because if you properly manage, or you have somebody managing your site for you, first of all, you are likely to complete that project on time. And if you complete any project on time, that means you are saving cost. Because when you have a project that is running beyond the time that is supposed to, then you have cost overrun. You might say, okay, you have sent away people from the site, I'm not paying salaries, but there are other things you'll be paying for. You must leave security guards there. Your lights will be on. The security guards will have to take care of or watch over your plants on site, because you still have to, and you are paying rent for certain things. So maybe the office. So it's not always so. And if you finish the project on time, and that's why in places like Europe and America, when you finish ahead of time, they give you some bonus for doing that, because they know they have not only saved money, then you can put to use that project, and they probably will be earning you some income. So if you see where I'm coming from, when you finish a project on time or before time, you can immediately start using that project. It becomes functional. If it were, say, like a block of flats, you start earning rent on them or whatever. But as long as you cannot put that project to use, then you can't earn anything on it. So that's why, it's just similar to all this collapsed building. You find people going to quacks and they just go and do something for you. Of course, if the fellow is not quite knowledgeable, probably give you a slab so thicker than what you should have done. So what you gain in the straight, you lose in the bend, or maybe you lose a lot more. Not only will you have something that looks grotesque, maybe it probably will be much more expensive than it should have been, because you now have to use more materials than you should have been. The fellow will stay longer on site and you can't make use of your property. So those are some of the things we look at.
Hey Barry Consulting Limited is a young firm with a very old parent. The company started as Hey Barry Odusi and Associates, originating from the United Kingdom. In the early 60s, the firm began to make its expeditions into African markets. The first place it betted was in Ghana. In the early part of 70s, the firm established itself in Nigeria.
There's a little story behind it all. Hey Barry Consulting Limited, as it is now, is a fairly young firm, but with a very old parent, in the sense that the original company used to be Hey Barry Odunsi and Associates. This firm originated from London with the name Hey Barry and Partners in UK. Now in the 60s, they started moving into West Africa to prospect for business, and so they came into Ghana via the progenitor there, which was Engineer Malcolm Frost, a British engineer. So he was sent to West Africa to do some projects. So he settled down in Ghana and was doing some projects in Ghana. And from there, they came to Nigeria to execute a couple of old popular cocoa house in Ibadan and a couple of other buildings, which he came in to supervise as a resident engineer from Ghana. So in the course of that, the company decided now to set up in Nigeria, and that was in the early 70s, about 71, 72. So Malcolm Frost came into Nigeria and set up Hey Barry Odunsi and Associates with one of the first generation engineers in Nigeria, Engineer Zach Odunsi, who was then Director of Works in Unilag. So Malcolm and Zach set up Hey Barry Odunsi and Associates, and it got registered in 1973, June 73. And that was how it was until late 70s, when Zach unfortunately died, and then the company was left in hands of Malcolm Frost, who continued with the firm up until 2008, 2009, when he had to retire due to on health grounds. So after that retirement, the company underwent a slight reorganization, and the name Hey Barry Consulting Limited emerged, and my humble self was asked to take on the leadership of the company, and that's where we are today.
Hey Barry Consulting is a civil and structural engineering firm with a zest for completely related projects in the civil engineering sector. The unique selling point of Hey Barry Consulting is its ability to keep clients happy. Because of its competence in delivering satisfactory projects, clients are often glad to return to do business with Hey Barry Consulting Limited. At the present time, the firm holds the line, delivering to satisfaction, as its key word.
We are basically civil structural engineers, though occasionally we do related services, depending on the needs of the client, but we're basically civil structural engineers. Rural markets, they say. Yeah, I think we're okay. We're having what I would call, we are content with our share of the market, even though we don't mind if there are more coming in, but so far we're doing well, and I think our clients are happy. For me, that's the most important thing, really. It's not how many clients you have, it's about how many happy clients you have. And I can say with the clients we have are quite happy with us, And we try to make sure that whenever we take in a client, that we deliver to his or her satisfaction. And that's our key watchword. So I would say we're doing well, and our advantage, I would say, is we retain our clients. We hardly lose clients, and once we have a client, he's likely to be with us, and ongoing. So we make sure that our clients don't leave us to look for others, because we make sure that whatever they ask us to do, we do it for them and do it very well.
As faced by other companies, the issue of holding foreign engineers in higher esteem than local practicing engineers remains a challenge, though that challenge is being overcome by Nigerian engineers. Local consulting companies are doing quite well now, and they are succeeding in handling massive projects brilliantly.
The limitations or challenges, perception is part of the challenges we have. Though it's changing to a great deal now. It's not as bad as it used to be in those days. I can tell you much earlier than now, there's this perception about, color. People think being a white man is likely to be a better engineer than being a black man, which is not true, So, but I think, like I said, it's changing gradually, because a lot of indigenous engineers are doing very well now, very, very, very well, and we're all doing well. And major projects are being handled by indigenous, at least design-wise, So I would say it's not as bad as it used to be, but we still have a challenge, especially in the public sector. A lot of problem with the construction. You find out that here we still haven't had very good, indigenous contractors getting big jobs, because maybe capacity problem, they don't have the right equipment or the capacity to, pull through such jobs. But I think we're coming up gradually, and in the consultancy, it's probably a lot better, in the sense that Nigerian consulting engineers are doing very well. And I can tell you, to a large extent, most jobs now are designed locally. It's probably very few you still have foreign contents coming in, So generally speaking, yeah, especially in the building industry.
Well, via this way time will permit us, I want to say thank you, and thank you so very much. I did say to you, let's be cautious about our environment. Let us also be very, very careful. Hey, have you taken a look at all what the CEOs have said? Something of note you must realize is the CEO of Delem, a woman playing very well in a male-dominated environment. What that says to me is anything is possible. With determination, perseverance, focus, definitely you will achieve it. And that's what I've seen in her. And she's not even relaxing. She's pressing forward and doing so much. You can also achieve same. With the determination you have, and if you persevere the storm, the challenges that will come, remain focused, definitely you smile. Well, on behalf of everybody, I want to say thank you so very much, and above all, I want to say thanks to all our engineers all around Nigeria. Thank you, guys are so fantastic. But I've come to realize something in Nigeria today. They said engineering is development. Without development, where will we be? That's why we talk about our infrastructure. And we are looking at how we can all come together to salvage that situation. It is very, very critical for any nation, especially now that we're looking at 2020. It is possible. Yes, we can. I want to say thank you so very much. Pray for our leaders and do the very best you can do for yourself and for your nation. God bless you.